In this video, we're going to take a look at how to use the technology, primarily MINITAB, to create some of the graphs and things related to quantitative data. In the last few lessons in the videos, we've been talking about quantitative data and how to organize it into a grouped frequency distribution, and then how to create a histogram and a stem and leaf plot. And so we're now going to take a look at how to do that using technology, because quite honestly, no one in terms of research today does much by hand. We use the technology, whether that's a statistical software package, a calculator, some other technology that's available to do those sort of things. And so I want to use the same example that we've been looking at in the previous videos, so that hopefully you can see the connection between doing it by hand as well as using the technology. So the question says, what is the average age in years of students taking classes on the GHC Cartersville campus in spring 2018? That was our research question. And we have our data set. It does indicate to us that our data set has 50 data values. The minimum is 17 and the maximum is 54. And so initially, when we first start organizing our data, we like to create a grouped frequency distribution. However, MINITAB, the statistical software package that we're using, does not have an automated way to construct that group frequency distribution for quantitative data. And that's not the end of the world, because there are other organizational tools, such as the stem and leaf plot or a histogram, that can be just as useful as the grouped frequency distribution. And so I want to first think about the stem and leaf plot. And I have everything here on the screen for you, but before, I want to actually walk you through how you would do that in MINITAB. And I have the steps there on the PowerPoint for you, but I want to walk you through it in MINITAB actually, so you can kind of see where the keystrokes are and that sort of thing. So to do anything in MINITAB or any kind of statistical software, you first have to enter the data. So I've already done that. Okay, I labeled the column using the little gray blank underneath the column number, and I indicated that it was ages in years, and then I've entered those 50 numbers, and you can kind of see I'm on the 50th row. So I've entered all of the numbers, and I want to create a stem and leaf plot, which is considered a graph. And MINITAB is very intuitive, because if I go up here to the menu bar at the top of the screen, I know that I want to create a graph. So I'm going to use the option graph, and when I click on it, it gives me the drop-down menu. And I have lots of options, and I'm looking for stem and leaf. So I scroll down to stem and leaf, and I click, and our stem and leaf wizard pops up. We do have to select the variable that we want to graph. For stem and leaf, it should be a quantitative variable. We only have one entered, so I'm going to double click, and it populates into the window there. I'm not sorting by any kind of variable. I'm not worried about outliers. So once I choose the variable, I simply click OK. And at the top of the screen in our worksheet, you'll see the stem and leaf plot appear. It's labeled stem and leaf of ages in years. It does again indicate that we have 50 data values. It also tells us at the bottom that our leaf unit represents the ones digit. And this one looks a little bit different, and I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. This one looks a little bit different from what we created by hand, because there appears to be a third column. And so I want to talk about that third column for just a minute.